Hey, leaders. I'm back. Today, we're going to be covering what neurodiversity is and why there is no single normal way for our brains to work. Neurodiversity recognizes that neurological differences are natural variations, not deficits. Different brain wiring means different strengths. It highlights these differences as essential aspects of human diversity, just like biodiversity in nature. Here's what I mean by that. Think about coral reefs. They thrive because of diversity. Different species of fish and coral, algae, each playing their unique role. I really hope I'm not screwing that up. Remove just one, and the whole ecosystem suffers. That's biodiversity. Difference isn't a problem to solve, it's the actual source of strength. And that's the key to today's message. There is no single normal way for our brains to work. So I want to start off by kind of asking, why does this matter for us as coaches? Let me get a little personal as usual, show you what I mean. When I tell people I'm a makeup artist, especially other coaches, I often notice something. They're not impressed. Actually, they're a little judgy. A lot of people are. They kind of seem what I perceive as judgment of my intelligence and my abilities based on whatever bias they have about makeup artistry. I don't always get to read off my resume to people, but they've already made assumptions. That's because society tends to narrow intelligence down to traditional academic and mathematical achievements. Or even if you haven't worked in like corporate culture with a briefcase and all of that, you aren't as important. I don't get it. But here's what they don't see, these narrow perceptions. Makeup artistry, for instance, demand intense emotional intelligence. Psychology, chemistry, art, and high pressure performance all rolled up into one. And that's my creativity. It was measured and validated by so many of my peers in the entertainment industry. And I actually received an Emmy nomination for that. That kind of recognition doesn't come easily. And not all neurodivergent creatives get the same opportunity that I had to have their work validated in this way. I'll give you an example. What I mean by psychology and high pressure environments, the most famous canvas that I've worked on is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. I've even had the opportunity to work with talents like the artist formerly known as Prince. I've worked on shows like Grey's Anatomy and Mad Men, just to name a small few. Here's what that looks like in my daily life, however. I'm a visual and most of the time an energetic person. I express my emotions openly. And yes, I sometimes have trouble filtering where my focus goes. Can any of you relate to those filter challenges? We can hyper focus on one thing at the expense of self care, which is why I have to make a conscious effort to prioritize it. This is a part of the structure I've built around my days. I may not be the most detailed orientated person in the room, but I am incredibly compassionate and loyal, almost to a fault. These traits I proudly share with many in the ADHD community. And here's what's important to understand. I'm not just trying to brag about what I've done. I've I owe my two successful careers to my ADHD and dyslexic identities. It is not in spite of them, but because of them. You see, many people with ADHD, and I'm really just picking ADHD because that's my identity and that's the example I'm giving. There's so many other neurodivergent identities and traits. But many people with ADHD can hyperfocus during high pressure situations. And research even suggests individuals with dyslexia, like me, often have enhanced three-dimensional visual processing abilities compared to working with flat images or reading flat images, emails, etc. And these advantages, they're not unique to me. Many neurodivergent people have incredible strengths that get overlooked. And here's the real challenge they face. Society wants everyone to be the same. It doesn't celebrate difference. It tries to eliminate it. We would never try to eliminate biodiversity from an ecosystem. I mean, we'll see that as destructive, I believe, right? But somehow we expect people to conform and eliminate their differences. The world is designed for one type of brain, the neurotypical brain. But neurodivergent brains work differently. And those differences are not deficits, I promise you. They're adaptations that make us exceptional in specific contexts. This is what I experienced with my ADHD and dyslexia. What might be challenging in one environment becomes a strength in another environment. And that is exactly what we get to explore in coaching. It's exciting difference. I invite us to be excited about difference. As coaches, we're not here to make our clients fit into systems that weren't designed for them. We're here to partner with them as they resist conformity and own their unique wiring. So let's talk about what we as coaches bring to this work. My story is one example of a larger pattern. It's about recognizing that a neurodiversity lens really needs to be in the room when we're coaching. This is key because every human is unique. There is no single normal, no one size fits all blueprint that can apply to everyone. Let me clarify two key terms for more understanding. Neurodiversity is the concept. Neurodiversity is like a paradigm shift, a mindset. It's also a social movement, much like the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, and other marginalized identities. Their movements. Neurodivergent, however, describes individuals whose brains work differently. You cannot be diagnosed neurodivergent. Neurodivergent people, what this means and what neurodiversity means is that there are different ways of thinking, behaving, communicating, and processing information. That's it. You all know as coaches, coaching is different from therapy. We work with neurodevelopmental differences like ADHD, autism, and learning differences. Many of us specialize based on our lived experiences and training. Therapy addresses clinical mental health conditions like uh, bipolar or depression, just to name a few. Both are valid. All these identities are under the neurodiversity umbrella because these are people that think, behave, process information differently, right? They require coaching and therapy, different approaches. The World Health Organization reports significant rates of neurodivergence globally. And research shows up to 20% of the population is neurodivergent. That means in many rooms, in any organization, any of your teams, 1 in 5 people, your family, may be navigating the world with a different brain that just works differently. There's actually a saying, if you know one person with autism, you know one person with autism. And honestly, it's the same for ADHD. If you know one person with ADHD, you know one person with ADHD. So just because your cousin has ADHD does not mean that the person sitting in front of you is just like your cousin. You get it? You could put any identity in there. If you know one Black person, you only know one. So don't compare me to your neighbor. Thanks. Okay. That's it. We share common threads for sure, but our experiences, our brains are distinctly our own because our experiences are so distinctly our own. That's exactly why a tailored coaching approach is so powerful. It invites us to explore our clients' unique patterns, strengths, and what I like to call their secret sauce or their neurosparkly sauce or their neurospicy sauce. We stay curious about what makes each client special, what their neurosparkly sauce, whether they're neurotypical or neurodivergent, is. We stay curious. That is how we might build on their identities. Not might. That is how we build on their identities and their self-confidence. So yes, there are common threads, absolutely. But no two brains, what I say, are alike. There is no normal. Research actually shows even identical twins have different brain patterns from each other. We are neurodiverse together because of different neurotypes. And isn't that something to celebrate rather than try to normalize or fit into the same box or puzzle piece? Now, let's consider where this idea of normal came from, real quick. Real quick. You know, the idea of normalcy is deeply rooted in societal norms, influenced by historical, cultural, and power dynamics. Colonialism, for instance, has shaped what is seen as normal or typical. The Industrial Revolution, definitely. Everything became so standardized. As coaches, we have an opportunity to invite our clients to challenge these rigid definitions, what I like to call, or what they do call, neuronormativity. We can co create spaces where neurodivergent leaders explore their experiences and build confidence in who they truly are, not who the world expects them to be. This invites a shift from trying to fix our clients. Instead, we partner with them in navigating a world that isn't designed for us. And honestly, I think that's much more empowering for everyone involved. Again, regardless of their neurotype. So I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of insight and self discovery today. I hope this inspires possibilities of how you partner with your clients to create environments that honor the rich diversity of human minds. As coaches, remember, our role isn't to shrink leaders we work with into what society considers normal. Listen, in neurodiversity, normal is the N word, okay? I like to use commonalities. Our role is to partner with them as they discover and leverage their unique neurological wiring. That's where true leadership potential unfolds. So until next time, keep leading with inclusivity and authenticity. And remember, there's no normal, just beautiful human diversity. Hmm. As we close, I want to leave you with something to carry forward. When we lead with confidence in ourselves and our clients' unique wiring, we unlock possibilities. This work invites new beginnings, a fresh way of seeing leadership and potential. And when we partner with our clients through this lens, we're not just coaching individuals, we're participating in something complete, something whole. This is collaborative work built on skill, learning together, and honoring what each person brings. That's the invitation. Now, here's where we take this a little deeper. I've created an extension episode specifically on neurodivergent strengths, how to spot them, develop them, and support your clients in owning them. It's going to be accredited by the ICF, which means you earn continuing education credits. You get a certificate for proof that you've completed while gaining tools you can use in your very next coaching session. So join me there for the continuation of this episode. You'll see it. It'll be called Neurodiversity Strengths, the advanced episode. Look for it in this podcast. Now, I'm really going to wrap it up this time. I really want to thank you for joining me. Until next time, remember, inclusion isn't when you're sitting in front of your clients. Being inclusive, it's a way of being. It's a paradigm shift. Thank you. Bye.